Chapter 1. Why letting go feels like losing. Letting go is one of the hardest things a human being can do, because we are wired to hold on, to seek safety in what we know, to grip tightly to people, plans, dreams, and identities, even when they begin to hurt us. And in today's world, letting go feels like the ultimate failure. We're taught that we're supposed to chase more, achieve more, maintain more, control more. So when we feel something slipping away, a job, a relationship, a goal, a version of ourselves, we panic, we fight it, we grip tighter, we exhaust ourselves trying to hold on. But the Stoics, calm, grounded, present, saw things differently. They saw peace not as something we gain by collecting more, but by shedding what no longer serves us. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's not about giving up. It's about giving in to the truth, to reality, to impermanence. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you finally accepted that caring can't control outcomes. Letting go doesn't mean you lost. It means you've stopped fighting a battle that was never yours to win. Letting go isn't the end. It's the beginning of peace. Chapter 2. The illusion of control. We all want control. It makes us feel safe, steady, powerful. But here's the paradox. The more we try to control what we can't, the more out of control we feel. We want to control people's opinions, their love, their loyalty. We want to control how things turn out, how long something lasts, how much something means, whether or not it stays the same. But Stoicism cuts straight through that illusion. Epictetus wrote, "Some things are in our control and others not." Simple, but powerful, because once you accept this, once you truly let it sink into your bones, you'll realize that most of your suffering isn't caused by life, it's caused by resistance to life. You're not hurting because they left. You're hurting because you believed they never would. You're not anxious because the future is uncertain. You're anxious because you believe it should be certain. You're not angry because something ended. You're angry because you think you had the power to prevent it, but you didn't. And you don't. That's not defeat. That's freedom. Because here's what you do control: your effort, your values, your presence, your response. That's where peace begins. Not by mastering the world, but by mastering yourself. So let me ask you, where in your life are you clinging to control you never had? What are you exhausting yourself trying to change? What would happen if you let go, not of effort, but of expectation? The Stoics weren't passive. They weren't apathetic. They were engaged, but not entangled. They showed up. They gave their best, but they didn't attach their peace to the result. You can try, you can care, you can give everything you have, but once you've done that, let it go. Because trying to control what isn't yours is the surest way to lose control of what is. Chapter 3. Attachment versus presence. There's a difference between love and attachment, between showing up and clinging. But in a world where everything moves fast, relationships, trends, careers, it's easy to confuse the two. Attachment says, "I need this to go my way. I need this to last. I need this to make me feel whole." Presence says, "I will show up fully. I will give my heart, my attention, my care, but I will not cling." The difference is everything. Attachment lives in fear, fear of loss, fear of change, fear that without this person or thing, we won't be okay. Presence lives in trust, in stillness, in the grounded confidence that we are already whole. The Stoic doesn't say, "Don't love." They say, "Love deeply, but don't let love become possession." They don't say, "Don't care." They say, "Care without dependence. Commit without illusion." To be present means to give freely without demanding a return. To love means to honor something as it is, not as you need it to be. The moment we begin to cling, we step out of presence and into projection. We begin to live in the future, in expectations, in fantasy. And then, we miss the beauty of what is. Have you ever noticed how we ruin good things by trying to make them permanent? We grip too tightly. We demand guarantees. We strangle the joy out of something because we're terrified it might end. But here's the truth. Everything ends. Everything changes. Everything you love will either change, leave, or evolve, including you. The Stoics didn't deny this. They embraced it. Because once you stop demanding permanence, you can finally experience presence. So ask yourself, am I showing up fully, or am I just trying to control? Am I loving what is, or am I trying to force what I wish it would be? What would it look like to give my best, and then let go? That's where peace lives, in this moment, as it is, not as you wish it would stay. And once you stop clinging, you start seeing more clearly, loving more purely, and living more freely. Chapter 4. The cost of clinging. Holding on feels like strength, but often it's fear in disguise. We cling because we're scared. Scared of change, scared of being alone, scared of letting go of what once gave us meaning. But here's the cost. When you cling to what was, you block what could be. You can't welcome the next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. We cling to relationships that no longer nurture us, to careers that drain us, to identities we've outgrown. Why? Because the familiar is comfortable, even when it hurts. But pain repeated becomes suffering chosen. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." How can you begin again if you won't put the past down? How can you fully show up to this moment if you're dragging the weight of yesterday with you? Letting go feels like loss, but clinging is the real thief. It steals your energy, your clarity, your peace. And most painfully, it keeps you tied to illusions. Illusions about who someone was, about what could have been, about who you thought you had to be. Letting go isn't forgetting. It's remembering differently. It's saying, I honor that chapter, but I'm no longer living in it. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that is quietly draining you? What idea, person, or story are you still carrying, even though it no longer serves your growth? What would it mean to release, not with bitterness, but with gratitude? Because letting go doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. Chapter 5. Letting go as strength. Letting go doesn't always feel like power. It often feels like defeat. Because power, to us, looks like gripping tightly, like pushing forward no matter what, like refusing to surrender. But what if true strength is found in stillness? What if real courage is not in holding on, but in knowing when to release? The Stoics taught that strength is measured not by what you cling to, but by what you can walk away from with grace. Letting go is not giving up. It's giving in to reality. It's saying, this no longer serves who I'm becoming. This was part of my path, but it's not my destination. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Letting go takes clarity. It takes trust. It takes discipline. Because the easy path is staying stuck. The brave path is moving forward with empty hands and an open heart. And when you let go, you don't just lose something, you make space. Space for peace, for presence, for purpose. So ask yourself, what are you afraid will happen if you let go? What might actually grow in your life if you finally did? Who could you become if you stopped holding on to who you used to be? Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start caring in a new way, with boundaries, with acceptance, with wisdom. And that's real strength. Chapter 6. Final reflection. What are you ready to release? So now we arrive at the question that matters most. What are you still holding on to? What memory still haunts your heart? What story still defines your identity? What hope or fear or failure still grips your thoughts when the world gets quiet? We all carry something. But the Stoic path is about choosing what to carry and having the courage to put down the rest. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means walking into the present without dragging every yesterday behind you. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the weight without losing the wisdom. So ask yourself one last time, what belief, identity, or attachment is costing me my peace? What pain have I outgrown, but still carry out of habit? Who would I be if I no longer carried this? The Stoics taught us not to escape life, but to meet it, with open eyes, open hands, and an open heart. Letting go is not a weakness, it's an invitation to breathe deeper, to live fuller, to love better. So today, stop clinging, not because you have to, but because you're ready. Let go, not because you've lost, but because you're making space. Space for clarity, for calm, for something real. And in that empty space, you might just find yourself.